Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you have been well and that things are going well in your life. So, as usual, I am here once a week giving messages of guidance, messages of support to help you better comprehend the energies and just channeling whatever messages the universe has to share with you here. So these messages are timeless, and whenever you come across them, it is because they are what is most needed for you to hear at this time. But at the time of recording this video, we are preparing to celebrate a full moon on I think it's the 26th of December. So that is something to look forward to. It is the final full moon of the season. And so I thought it would be important to just help you better comprehend the energies that are taking place at this time. But not only that, as we are preparing to move into 2024, which is going to be an extremely powerful year. The energies are continuing to shift, but from the astrology and what I have been following and what I have been feeling intuitively is that we have been being prepared for the energies that are coming. And so when we understand the energies that are here and the energies that are taking place in the collective, and we learn how to tune into them, then we can really learn to use these energies in a way that serve us as opposed to struggling against them. So 2023 has been a seven universal year, which has all been about truth, about going inwards, remembering who we are. Many people have been taking up spiritual practices. People are realizing that there is something missing. And I talk about capital T truth because whilst everyone is living their own sort of truth in their own reality, there are the more deeper inherent truths. And really more and more people are coming into the comprehension that we are soul beings having a human experience, and that when we negate the non-physical aspects of who we are, because we are made up of mind, body, and soul. And I know that this is something that people talk about, on and on and on, but it is important. I mean, in Christianity, they talk about the what is it, the spiritual three, mind, oh, no, not mind, body, soul. It's like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. But more and more in the research that I am doing, a lot of the things that have been spoken about in spiritual texts are actually relating to the body. Most of us, as much as our body is the vessel for which our soul can come and experience this 3D reality, we don't realize that our body is a supercomputer that has abilities that go far beyond our probably belief systems. But the reason that we cannot tap into these energies is because our bodies are not in a state of balance and health. And so as people have been, so many people have been experiencing depression, loneliness, anxiety, a feeling of lostness, a lack of purpose, a sort of not really wanting to be here, not really knowing where they're going. And this is because we have inherently, as a society, forgotten who we are. We have forgotten that we are soul beings having a human experience. And the more we move forward as we go through this evolution of humanity, the more we realize it is about bridging the gap between the spiritual and the physical. And we seem to be mastering the physical, but when we bring the spiritual and that higher consciousness, that higher comprehension, especially as we move into more and more into the age of Aquarius, as in the age of Pisces, Pisces is very much about emotions. It's also Pisces is dominated by Neptune, which is the planet of illusion. We can't really see clearly. It's also what governs the dream realm. And so as we have been in the age of Pisces, we have been under a form of illusion in the sense that we haven't been able to see clearly. And the reason we haven't been able to see clearly is because most of us are only operating through our physical eyes and haven't done what is necessary to open our spiritual eye. And remember, we are soul beings having a human experience. Therefore, our first eye, people talk about the third eye, but we are first souls and then humans. So when we comprehend and view the world through that spiritual lens, we gain mastery over the physical world so much quicker. And I find that the movie Lucy is such a great example of this, because as we engage, as we increase in our level of consciousness, and as we open up to experience our higher mind or our subconscious mind, which is what Aquarius is all about. Aquarius is about moving out of the small emotions and moving into the higher mind. Aquarius is dominated by air, and so it is a lot to do with intellect and intelligence. And so we are moving into a time where we are going to be having a lot more conversations, and people are going to be opening up a lot more. And we have been seeing this since around 2020, and even since 2012, where people are becoming a lot more open to the spiritual realms, or to these what would be considered alternative or even woo-woo sort of areas of life. And so people are opening up more. Even when we look at science, science is finally starting to catch up because they are being more open to the realms of quantum physics. But really, when we look at quantum physics, it's basically just metaphysics. And so again, when we realize that spirituality is interweaved into everything, because it is realizing that there is something, that there is a higher power, that there is a higher energy, there is something larger that governs each and every one of us. And we are all tuned into that same frequency, because remember, beautiful souls, everything is vibration. Everything is about frequency. So it's kind of like when we have a radio station, when you have a radio, it's like there are multiple stations that are playing at the same time. But unless you tune into that specific radio station, you won't be able to hear what's going on. And so that is what is happening now, is that there are so many radio stations, there are so many frequencies, and we are being given the opportunity to tune into frequencies that we didn't have access to before. And so as we have been really offloading and shedding and getting rid of the things that are no longer necessary for us, and becoming aware, because as we become more conscious, we also become more aware of ourselves. And this is why shadow work is so extremely important, and especially for people who consider to themselves to be light workers, especially for people who have been on this path for a while and who follow this woke mentality, which kind of keeps pushing people into believing that, it's all love and light, and it's all love and light, and you have to fake it till you make it. And it's, if you think good thoughts all the time, then nothing bad will touch you. And I'm sorry to say, but that's complete nonsense. And we have to realize that unless we look inwards, because what we are experiencing in society is just a projection of the consciousness within the 8 billion people who are living here. And so once we start to increase in our consciousness, and once we start to become aware of how we are unconsciously creating the challenges that we are trying to run away from, not realizing, because it's so easy to put ourselves in victim mentality and to say, hey, poor me, poor me, poor me, the world is out to get me. But nothing's personal. We mustn't take things personally. Everything that is happening is because, well, it's the laws of cause and effect, right? Whatever decisions we make, we will have to live with the consequences. And so we have been given a chance to reassess. 2023 has been a year of reassessing and going inwards and sort of taking stock of our lives, whether that be on a mental level. Stop it. Sorry, the cat is back. So we have been reassessing and reevaluating and just retaking stock of our lives, so that as we move into 2024, which is an 8-year, 8 is all about infinity, but 8 is also the year of personal power. Slowly, we are being called back to taking back our power, because so many of us are being manipulated because we don't have awareness or control over our power. And how do we have control over our power? We have control over our power by being aware and conscious of our thoughts. How aware are you of the thoughts that you are having when you are not actively using your mind? And pay attention, because your thoughts are connected to an emotion. So if there is a certain state of emotion that you find yourself in most of the time, it is linked to the thoughts that you are most frequently going through. So it's about identifying the pattern or the loop that you get stuck in, because a certain thought pattern will link you to a certain emotion, and then that emotion will link you to another set pattern, and then that will make you feel a certain way in your body, and then you get stuck in a loop. So 2023 has been very much about the world putting challenging experiences in front of us so that we can become more aware of where we have certain shadow aspects, where there are parts of ourselves that we still need to work on because we are perhaps projecting aspects of ourselves that are coming from our shadow. And our shadow is basically parts of us that was created in order to protect the inner pure essence of who we be when we were wounded in our childhood or as a result of trauma that has been passed on from one generation to the next. So again, just a little bit of context, because as we prepare to go into 2024, as I said, which is an 8 year, which is all about personal power, this is about our will. How many of us set goals and can't seem to carry through on these goals? And that is because a part of us doesn't have so when I tune into the body, this would be related to our solar plexus chakra, and so our ability to make decisions and to stick to them, our personal power and our willpower in a sense. And so when we are not in balance because we have had a lot of wounding and we are not clear in who we are, and we are not sort of firm in our decision, when we are sort of wishy-washy and kind of not really able to make those decisions, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'll do this, or I don't know whether I'll do that. It's kind of like our energy is not firm. And so when we make decisions and we are firm in our energy, when we really emanate that sort of pillar, it makes me think of like a pillar. You're firm, you can support and hold up a roof. And as a result of that, if you are not firm in your power, then it is easy for your power to be, your energy and your power to be manipulated and pulled on. And this, it relates to your emotions, this relates to your mind, this relates to your body. Remember, we have the power to be in control of our entire vessel, but first comes awareness. And sometimes that is uncomfortable because it requires us to look at parts of ourselves which, will require us to go back into that wounding. And sometimes the reasons we don't want to look at sort of difficult or negative aspects of ourselves is because it's going to take us back into the wounding that was created in whatever circumstance happened in the past. And the thing is, it is about having compassion, because when you are loving and kind to yourself, then it is easier for you to move through these parts of yourself and realize that the only reason that these so-called negative aspects of you exist is because you were protecting yourself. And so an example I can give you here is, I used to be very aggressive. I used to bite people's heads off. People would ask me questions. I'd get pissed off about nothing. And then I would wonder why I didn't have friends, like, oh, what a strange question. How, not very difficult when I was willing to look at myself and say, okay, yeah, well, maybe it's because I don't treat people so well that I don't have a lot of people around me. And as I started to change those aspects of myself, then naturally things shifted. And I realized that the reason that I was like that was it was a trauma response because of the way I had been abused in my childhood. So remember, it is about compassion. It is about taking it slowly, one step at a time, and realizing that we've all been hurt, and we all need to be softer with ourselves. And really the way it starts is the conversations. Think about the tone of voice and the words you use to communicate with yourself. So that is really the first place to start looking. So anyways, I'm not going to go too much into detail here, but you can do more info. I'm going to link a video below which gives you more details about what the 8 energies are about, and really preparing to tap into your power. And that's why you have had to become aware of who you are, so that you can know how to know where your personal power lies. So again, I have pulled many cards here, and the first card that comes up here is your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Yes, beautiful. And we recently moved into Capricorn, I think it was on the 21st. So now we are moving into more earth energy, and Capricorn has the ability to take action. Capricorn is like the mountain goat. Think about these goats that you find standing up on, sort of these cliff edges, and the edge is like literally this small, but somehow these goats are able to climb up these incredible heights. And so it is about taking action, all the work that you have been doing in 2023. And again, sometimes it might not feel like it, but the work that is being done is very much on an internal level. And sometimes it is difficult to see how much work that you have done. But if you have been doing the work in 2023, then 2024 will be the year that you begin to see the rewards for the seeds that you have planted. So if you continue on this path and continue down this path of being in self-awareness, really learning more about who you are mentally, emotionally, physically, getting more in tune with your health, getting more in tune with your energy, being more in control of who you are and where you are going, realizing that it is every small decision that you are making at every moment in time that is leading you to your future. So it is important to have a clear idea of where you are going. And when I say a clear idea, it is more about the feeling. What is the feeling that you want to be having in your life? You know, this is where manifestation, most people get it wrong because they look for something specific, saying, oh, I want to have a red Ferrari, as opposed to saying, I want to have a car that makes me feel super free, where I can feel the wind blowing in my hair and I can be driving at 200 kilometers an hour. And then it's not about being so specific, because the more we move forward, the more we're moving into Aquarius energy, and the more it is, remember, it's air, it's not so tangible. So remember, it is about the feeling. But when you realize that whatever you are creating is also serving to advance and help the collective grow, then the energies that are coming in this year will definitely push you forward and propel you and help you in whatever it is that you are trying to create here. So the next card we have is, what do you need to release? Yes, waning moon, with this full moon coming up. The last full moon of the season, I have to be honest, I can't remember what sign it is in. But you know, the full moon brings us, it is a time of, so the full moon is a time of completion. It is an energetic cycle that is coming to completion. So just as we are having this before we move towards the end of the year, it is really giving us an opportunity to tune in and see what are the last, sorry, the cat is attacking. What are the last remnants of things that you need to still continue to release, knowing full well that as you move into 2024, it is really about anchoring in those energies of power. And you know, 2024 is really so the 8 is also about, you know, it's about abundance, it's about business. So if you have been contemplating about taking certain business decisions and setting yourself up in business, especially if this is a business that is going to help people, not just yourself, because now we are coming into a time where, especially with the new advancements in technology, there is going to be great new innovations coming through, because Aquarius is dominated by Uranus, and Uranus is the planet that brings about big change. So kind of like how the internet brought about change that people wouldn't have anticipated nor expected, these are the kind of big changes that we are coming into as we move forward. So what is it that you need to release in order to go in the direction that you are wanting to go in? So again, this could be people. And again, 2023 has been, for me at least, has been a lot about saying goodbye to people, because I was somebody who, one of my biggest wounds was being a people pleaser. And because I had no idea who I was, and because of all the trauma, and I wasn't never really given the space, especially I never gave myself the space to truly know who I was, because I had the beliefs that whoever I was, well, nobody really gave a shit about that. And so why would anybody care? And so I had to do a lot of work, and I had to detach and disconnect from a lot of people, only to realize that a lot of the relationships that I was engaging in were not actually serving me, and were not very balanced energetically. And so the more we move forward and the more we learn how to comprehend energetics and to be able to tune in, because the more we move forward, it is about a feeling, right? It's the gut feeling. Remember, they say that our biggest brains, well, yeah, we have the one in our head, but we also have a very important brain in our gut as well as in our heart. We are processing information not only with this brain up here, but we are interpreting through all of our senses, which is where we have all the clairs, clairaudient, clairsentient. So the more you tune into your energies and be learning who you are, and the more you continue to release the people who are not serving you and who are not aligned in the direction that you want to go in, then really, if people are hindering you and not encouraging you as you are wanting to move into things that might seem a little bit out there, then these are not the people for you. as you continue to change and shift, remember, you can also vibrate out of the frequencies of other people. And so when we say goodbye to people, it's not necessarily negative. It's simply that, these people have served their purpose. And I don't say that in a negative sense. I say that, sometimes we're always evolving, and sometimes we need to move forward, and not everybody can come with us wherever it is that we are going. So the next card we have is hold your vision. Yes, what visions have you been setting in place? And especially since 2020, these shifts have been really quite crazy since 2020, and especially as we have been experiencing, big major changes that are being seen in the physical realms, not only in the spiritual realms, where those of us who are tuned in are able to feel that something really big is growing, but we are also experiencing a lot of change in the physical as we experience all these changes and well, new alliances and new things that are being created, it seems, across the board. So whatever is the vision that you have been building since 2020, and and it might not seem so clear, but something has been building since 2020, because, well, the whole world paused, the whole world stopped. Something major happened where, everyone was given a moment to kind of take a breather and reassess. And, well, some people kind of just went right back when things opened up again, whilst others would have, started making a lot of changes in their lives and noticing a lot of differences taking place. So I guess whatever that vision is that you have been seeing for yourself, then, well, keep holding that vision. Something is building, and the energies are really here to facilitate whatever it is that you are building. The next card we have is step out of your comfort zone. North Node, yes. Step out of your comfort zone. There is a big need to step out of the comfort zone, because many of us have gotten stuck in the comfort zone. And this is what Aquarius energy is bringing us, where we are being reminded that, for evolution to take place, sometimes it's going to get uncomfortable. And this change is happening on a very global level, because many people are being asked to shift, and many big changes are taking place, and many people are being made to feel very uncomfortable, because these changes are, well, they're new. We're seeing changes happening across the board. We're seeing changes happening to our education, to our governance, to our health systems, where to even the way people are now, a lot more people are looking to start moving out of the cities and becoming more self-sustainable. And so there is a new way of life that is starting to be built, and a way of life that is pushing us to be more in harmony with the energies that are taking place. If not, we are just going to be wiped out. And this is uncomfortable, but it is really evolve or die. And I mean that both figuratively and literally, because if people are not willing to move forward, then, as the systems of the world continue to collapse, well, and especially as we are experiencing a lot more changes that are happening in terms of climate change, if we do not learn to live more in harmony with nature, then nature is just going to continue retaliating, and this is not going to end well for us. As much as we want to believe that we are high and mighty, and yes, we are at the top of the food chain because of all the weapons that we have created and so on and so forth, well, it doesn't mean that we are at the top of the food chain literally, because Mother Nature at the end of the day can, well, she can pillage us very easily. So where are you still putting yourself in your comfort zone, and where are you unwilling to step outside of the box, right? As again, the box is very masculine energy. As we move forward, we are moving more into feminine energy, which is circular, which means we need to be existing in this space outside the box. So the more we move, and it's interesting because all these cards, it's a lot of purple, which is the first eye and the crown, purple and indigo. And so, a lot of opening up and being willing to get into the uncomfortable. And, for me, I was somebody I was so close-minded, and close-mindedness is really just, it's just a result of wounding, right? Because the ego, or the hurt personality, or the part of us that has been closed-minded, is a form of, it's a control mechanism to help us cope with whatever is taking place in the world around us. And so I used to be so closed-minded, and was so was so opposed to things like self-help and personal development, being like, no, I don't need any of these things. And, but everybody need these things. If everybody strived to be better, if everybody strived to continuously grow and to learn and to show up as the best version of themselves in every way possible, then we would be living in a very, very different society. So we're really being pushed to open up to things that are outside of our comfort zone, such as spirituality. And now spirituality comes in many different forms and sizes. Spirituality doesn't mean that you have to be a hippie and meditating all the time. It simply means that you are willing to be more introspective and to realize that there is something bigger than each and every one of us. And when we open ourselves up to tune into whatever is bigger, then we become aware of things that we wouldn't have been aware of previously. The next card we have is the ripple effect, part of something bigger. Details are taken care of. Yes, when you realize that there is something so much bigger than any of us. And this is where, surrender is very important because, I remember for somebody who was such a complete control freak, it's only when I gave up and was and not when I, again, words are so limited, and words can so easily be misconstrued by everybody interpreting things at their own level of consciousness. And so when I say surrender, it means that help is available to us, and when we believe that help is available to us, and when we open ourselves up to prayer and to communicating with the universe and the divine, and being open to believing that there is something that is here to help us. The universe doesn't want us to, as I like to say, pay bills and pay taxes all the time and to live in poverty and misery. That is not what the universe wants for us. That is not what God wants for us. That is not what the divine realms want for us. Remember, when we come and we incarnate into the physical form, it is uncomfortable and it is difficult because, well, the 3D reality is the lowest density. And because when we are incarnated in human form, we are given the opportunity to experience, because we experience both darkness and light at the same time in one density. And so we have to choose, right? Which side are we going to veer to? And now realizing that both the darkness and the light serve a purpose. So this whole thing of we're going to negate the darkness and pretend it doesn't exist, no. We have to go into the darkness in order to find the light, because it is in the wounding that we heal and therefore find the light. Because it is only when we heal our darkness, the pain, the anger, the anguish, whatever it may be, that we will find light once again, because the darkness has come to dim our light. So we experience both aspects, but it is about choosing to not be afraid of the darkness, but to embrace the darkness and use the darkness, because sometimes it serves its purpose. So it's not always about, sometimes we have to be angry. So like think about it, when, we have children, when you have to discipline the child, sometimes anger is necessary for that child to learn. Because in the long term, if you don't discipline the child, and even though, especially now, people are being told, no, you have to let the child be, and I know, don't talk about physical discipline, because that does not help, but disciplining the child and letting them know this is not okay. So sometimes, and this is why God, the universe, also has to come and discipline us and put us in front of those hard facts where we have to experience difficult challenges so that we can know how to move through them. It is the universe is giving us an opportunity to rise above. And so when we realize that all these experiences and all these challenges that have come have been to help us see a part of ourselves that we wouldn't normally have an opportunity to see, and therefore be able to shift how we did things before. Because if you think back to this year, how many times did you probably notice that you engaged with a situation differently than you probably would have in the past? That is a sign of growth, beautiful souls. And so when we don't take time to, take a step back and look back and see how far we've come, then we are not able to see the growth. And because a lot of these changes, they're not tangible, we have to be able to go back and take time to celebrate these wins. So, yes, you are part of something bigger if you believe that, and the details are taken care of. Again, it comes back to this card: hold your vision. When you know where you are going, this is the where manifestation is extremely important, because it's like you have to have an idea of what you want to feel. First, you have to be able to feel it, because if you're able to feel it, then you believe that you are worthy of manifesting that thing in. So why people fail at manifesting what it is that they desire is because they cannot feel what it would be like. They don't believe that they are worthy of receiving that thing. So the next card we have is Plunge. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. Yes, now is the time to dive in, especially if these are energies that are in alignment. If these are things that are in alignment with the energies taking place at this time, where you are looking to do something that will elevate yourself as well as elevate the collective, then the universe will support you on this journey. And I can assure you, we are moving into energies of quantum leap. Remember, we're in Aquarius energy, which is Uranus dominated energy. Uranus is instant change, quick change, change in a way that people would never have expected, and the change happens fast. Look at what happened in just this time since the internet came into play. And now that we're moving into AI, the changes that we are going to be seeing will quadruple. And so dive in, plunge in. Do not be afraid to take that leap, because truly, 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 the universe is supporting you. This is the ripple effect, right? This is the butterfly effect. We don't realize how, they say when a butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon, it can cause a storm on the other side of the globe. So yes, you simply making a choice to do something that makes you happy will instantaneously raise your vibration, and therefore automatically raise the vibration of everyone who comes into contact with you. And remember, now the changes and the healing, when you look at it on an energetic level and you realize that you shifting your energy is what is needed for this change to happen. So take the plunge, dive in, do not be afraid. The universe is supporting you. The next card we have is a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision again. And it's interesting because this card comes directly underneath of hold your vision card. So as you can see here, this is the new earth. We are really being prepared to move into the new earth, or not even being prepared to move into the new earth, because the new earth is being anchored here more and more. As it says here, it's happening. It's already happening. It's more about choosing. And it's interesting because I feel all the time that I'm living on a different dimension to most people, because it seems that there are two very different worlds happening at this time, because there are those people who are completely connected and stuck in the 3D and who are not willing to go beyond the material, and who are stuck in these old stories and not wanting to move forward. And then there are those of us who are opening up and tapping into these energies and realizing that we are part of something bigger, and that something bigger is here to support us. And the more you open yourselves up to things that are in the woo woo, the more you will be able to tap into these energies, because a lot of these things is we are now being able to tap into spiritual things in our physical bodies, and we don't necessarily need to go into meditation. It is about making your life a moving meditation. Everything becomes a meditation. And the way everything becomes a meditation is by having intention about everything that you do. And this is where the idea of mindfulness becomes very, very powerful, where you essentially are a lot more mindful about everything that you do, ensuring that everything that you are doing is serving not only yourself, but also serving the collective. Because the more you do this, the more these energies will shift you wherever it is that you desire. And the thing is, the universe wants our dreams to come true, because when our dreams come true, we are in the highest possible vibration. And when we are in the highest possible vibration, we shift things on such a high level. And so the universe wants us to succeed. The universe wants us to be happy. The universe wants us to have everything that we desire, because this will help create the shifts that the universe needs for us to shift, so that we can move into the next level of humanity. So keep holding that vision. Hold the vision, whatever it is that you are desiring, whatever it is that you are calling in. And it could be just as simple as living a life that is easy. Hold that vision. Be clear about what it is that you desire and hold it. And do not deviate off, because the reason why so many people fail is because they they can't commit, and that's because their power, that it keeps, it's kind of like if someone has the attention span of a goldfish, then their attention is always being diverted elsewhere, and their energy, what they need to do whatever this vision is being taken away and being used for something that is not important. So make sure that you're keeping focused on the things that are of value and of importance, and your energy isn't being skewed all over the place and taking you into things that are not important or relevant for you. So the next card we have is Messenger, Sirius energy. If you look back to last week's reading, we also had Sirius energy here. Remember, Sirius is the second galactic sun, and the more Sirius approaches our planet, the more consciousness continues to raise on our planet. And this is what we are seeing. More and more people are waking up. More and more people are awakening. And what does that mean, awakening? Well, more and more people are starting to think for themselves. More and more people are starting to question. More and more people are not just accepting what is, but thinking for themselves. Unfortunately, we seem to be living in a world where everybody wants to be a sheep and everybody wants to be led as opposed to leading themselves. And remember, if you are not leading yourself, then somebody or something else is. So start paying attention to where your energy is being used and manipulated against you, because you are not clear. You are all over the place. And it's all, and I guess 2020 to 2024 has been the time where we've been able to kind of be dipping in our toe and really, trying out different things without committing too much, so that we can start to identify where it is we want to be. But now that you have had the time to think things through and feel things through, then now is about making that decision and committing to it, because these energies will support you. So Sirius energy is allowing you to tap into your higher conscious mind, so that you can anchor these things into this physical reality. And it is about bringing harmony and balance. Yes, 2023 has really been about challenging you so that you can be more aware of where you are not in harmony and balance, what is taking you off harmony and balance, what is taking you off kilter. So we have had to become aware, and this is where, awareness, we've had to look at ourselves and see where we are, putting our energies into things that are not serving us. So yes, this Sirius is the messenger, which these energies can be uncomfortable, and these energies serve to sort of like hold up a mirror and say, hey, look, these are the areas of your life that you need to look into and you need to continue doing some work on, because these are the areas that are not allowing you to be in harmony and balance. The next card we have is Autumn, release the old and rest. Yes, we have been in a time of hibernation where it is, the autumn is when all the leaves fall off the trees. And it's not that the trees are dying, it is that they are conserving their energy as they are going into winter, so that they can hibernate and conserve their energy, almost going into a deep meditative state, so that they can receive new information and use that information to grow new leaves as they move into the spring. And so 2023 has been basically the autumn time, where we have been shedding, and more and more and more shedding, which is why there have been so many relationships that have ended this year, so many people quitting jobs, so many people breaking up with friends, so many people walking out on family, so many people putting in new boundaries, so many people making changes to their health, changes to their lifestyle, changes to their mindset. A lot of shedding. And the shedding has been needed, because all these things that have come to sit on top of you are what have been, sort of blocking that solar plexus willpower energy, and not being able to allow you to take steps forward. And this is the thing, when we are surrounded by a million people all the time, and when we are allowing everybody to give their 2 cents, and yes, it's good to ask people for their opinion and to get advice here and there, but when you are constantly getting all of your information from outside of you, only you know best what is good for you. So if you are constantly allowing other people to make those decisions for you, or push you forward, then you are being swayed by other people's energy, and you are not doing things for yourself, you are doing things for others. And so it is a good time to continue looking, especially as this full moon comes in. This full moon will be here to help you continue to offload these old energies that are no longer serving. The next card we have is fire guardian. Ignite your passions. Yes, you know, this is solar plexus is the sun. It's all about fire. What are you passionate about? And now is the time to turn your passion into your business. Because when you do that, you will never run out of steam. You will never run out of imagination, creativity, of energy to do this thing, because it is something that you are passionate about. So 2024 is really about taking your passions, taking your dreams, and turning them into your money making business, making it be the center of your attention, allowing your passions to be what drive your life forward. Because when you do that, you will naturally be in a much higher state of vibration. The next card we have is clean energy food. When you fuel your body with a healthful organic diet, you increase your energy levels and ability to focus. This automatically leads to more efficiency, better ideas, and a higher vibration, which attracts golden opportunities and beneficial relationships. Now, I just want to touch on this here a little bit more, because this has been something that is very, very personal to me, and especially for somebody who struggled with my weight for so many years. And especially as we move more and more into, the more and more I look around, and the more I see people who are unwell. Disease, all disease is a lifestyle choice. And I'm just going to put that super bluntly, because again, if people are on this spiritual journey and you are not healthy, then you will never move forward. Remember, your physical vessel is your temple. It is what is allowing your soul to move through this physical reality. If your body is not in a state of health, and if your health is not your number one priority, you will never move forward. It is extremely difficult to heal when you are constantly sitting in a polluted room. So think about, for those of you who go to church, for those of you who go to temples, for those of you who go to meditate, you're not going to go and meditate or go to church in a smelly, dump site. Think about that. If you continue to put shit into your body, and I mean that on all levels, from the things that you ingest, to the people you surround yourself with, to the content you consume, if you continue to consume in all forms, through every orifice and through every sense, if you continue to consume things that is lowering your vibration, especially food. If you are trying to lose weight, you can do as much exercise as you want, but if your diet is rubbish, you're never going to get anywhere. So it is about learning to eat for health as opposed to eat. Most people eat way too much. I eat one meal a day, and that is more than enough for me. And I work out a lot, and I do a lot of movement, and it is more than enough. So when you are eating the right nutrients, your body is not going to feel hungry. You are not going to have those cravings. And the more your body feels good, the more easy it is for you to heal. Your mind will open up, your senses will open up. It becomes easier. You become more comfortable. You become more at ease. If you are driving out around in a really uncomfortable car that smells, that journey is going to take super fucking long. But if you are in a super comfortable car and it smells really good, and you've got AC, or you can open the windows and you can let in that fresh breeze, that journey is going to be super comfortable. So this is what you have to ensure, that your temple is as comfortable as possible in order for you to do this work. And especially as we continue moving forward, most people don't realize that a lot of the foods that we are eating, if you are eating processed foods, anything that comes in a packet is a no-no. Limit everything that comes in a packet. The majority of your food should not be coming in a packet. Think about that. Each time you reach for a packet, ask yourself, is this actually elevating me and making me feel better? And the reason most people feel shitty is because they are ingesting all the wrong foods. Spend your money on buying good, healthy foods. If you're going to be spending a lot of money, I highly recommend that you spend it on the food that you eat. People who are cheap on their food, you're going to end up paying way more in doctor's bills and in dealing with your health. I highly, highly recommend this. And try and source your food organically. Try and find a source of food that is organic and that is as clean as possible, because most people don't realize is that food that is touched by other people, you are ingesting the energy of that other person. Or clear your food energetically before eating if you go out and eat in a restaurant. This is very, very, very important, and I cannot stress this enough. The next card we have is donations, tithing, and charitable work. This is extremely important for 2028. Remembering that if you are somebody who can give, give. This will multiply your finances in 2024 because Jupiter is very, very present. Jupiter is the great amplifier. So if you are being stingy, that is what is going to amplify in your life. If you are giving to others where you can and helping others elevate, and I don't mean in money, it can be helping others wherever possible. This can be with your time, this can be with your resources, this can be with your energy, simply helping others where you can. This will multiply your income in the new year if you continue to do this. So give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support and inspire you. And know that your generosity will be returned to you manyfold in miraculous ways. Yes, if you are serving to help others, the universe will help you triplefold. And this is why even the super, super rich, they understand. The elites of the world who govern the world, they have deep, deep, deep spiritual knowledge, which is why they are advanced. And when they realize that by giving to others, they are minimizing their negative karma. So I'm not saying to give to minimize your negative karma, but when you give, you receive what you give out. Remember, this is the law of cause and effect. So yes, the time, supplies, money, or other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. And especially as we are moving into 2024, where this is Jupiter amplification and it is a lot to do with abundance, if you spend on others, God and the universe will spend on you. The next card we have is 10th house authority. Yes, the 10th house in astrology relates to where you are recognized. It is where you are seen as an authority. And so 2024 is really about becoming your own authority. It is about reclaiming ownership of your temple, reclaiming ownership of your throne, not allowing other people to manipulate you, but to become an authority of your health, to become an authority of your mental body, to become an authority of your emotions, to become an authority of your physical vessel, and to be fully in control of each of these aspects of you. Because if you are not in control, if you are not an authority of your being, then you cannot possibly be an authority of your life. And you will never get to where it is that you want to go because you are constantly being pulled in every other direction, because you seem to be more interested in serving other people attain their goals as opposed to attaining your own goals. And now let me just take that a step back, because sometimes your goals, those, some of us are here to help others grow, and those are our gifts, and that is fine, but make sure that that is working for you. This is where boundaries become extremely important. Yes, give and help others rise, but make sure that you are not being depleted in the process. It is so important that we be in relationships that are balanced energetically. If not, we are going to be all over the place. And remember, this is 2024. This has been 4 years since 2020 where we have been anchoring in the foundation. This is now, as we use 2024, this is the foundation that is going down for the rest of the next, 50 years or so. So be very, very aware of what you are putting in your foundation, because if you fuck this year up, I'm just going to tell you straight up, you're going to fuck up the rest of the years. This is your opportunity to start afresh. So be very mindful and wary of what you are putting out there. And last but not least, we have Cancer with the 4. 4 again is all about foundation. Cancer, it's all about stability. Cancer is all about the deep nurturing mothering energy. It is about immersing. Cancer experiences things full bodily, and so you are also being asked to fully immerse yourself in the experience of your life, because if you are living life halfway out here, then you're not really experiencing life. You're living life, but you're not fully immersed in your life. You are allowing your energies to be manipulated and used against you. So the more you allow yourself to immerse yourself in your mental body, in your emotional body, in your physical body, and in your spiritual body, if you make these 4 parts of you the most important thing that you do in 2024, you set the intention to be better mentally, whatever that means for you, but try and become a little bit more clear about what that means to you. Being more mastered of your emotions. So for those of you who are not emotionally available, and I really want to put that especially to the men, where you have not been given the space to be in tune with your emotions, especially here on the African continent, where there is a weakness, where it's incredible how I have to, when my guy friends, when I chat to them, unless I'm like beating things out of them, they don't tell me shit. And that is of course a part of the wounding, but it is okay. It is about learning how to nurture and mother yourselves, where you did not receive that softness in your childhood or in how society has been built. So learning how to be more nurturing and mothering energy to ourselves all individually will shift things tremendously. We have to stop looking for that mothering energy outside, but really learn how to do that for ourselves. So I'm going to end this message here as it's been a little bit long. If you are interested in a personal reading, then you can get in touch with me down below. If you are in need of support and guidance in your own journey, then you can also check out my website down below. My sister and I, we work together and offer a spiritual concierge service where we work on a consultancy basis, and we essentially walk alongside you and support you in whatever way is needed, depending on where you are on your path or whatever challenges and pain points you are experiencing. So you can check that down below. Please like this video if you resonate with it. Share the message with people who you feel will find this beneficial. And I wish you much, much love as you continue on this journey of continuing to shed and preparing for the energies that are continuing to come in, that are really just waiting to blast you into superhero mode. Truly, 2024 is the year where you can really, really, really make your dreams a reality, but it is about taking action and doing whatever necessary to make that dream become a reality. Okay, much love to you, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.